Hey, Stephen Grower Supply here, and today we're going to do a logo. So where we're going to start is right over here. I have our Grower Supply logo saved on my desktop. We're going to right click it. I'm going to come down to Open With, Paint. We're going to come up here and resize the image using pixels, not percentage but pixels. We want the vertical. We're going to change that to 32. We're going to come down here to the bottom right hand corner and we're going to maximize it. Then we're going to select our paint bucket and two colors, and we're going to start changing all the white over to yellow and all the black over to red. Let me stop here and explain why. As you can see, this pixel right here could have very easily been mistaken as a white pixel, but it's actually a very light shade of gray. And this pixel over here could have been mistaken as a black pixel, which is actually a very dark shade of gray, I'm sorry. And the reason that's an issue is our EBS260 only prints in true black and in true white. If you send it a gray pixel, it won't print the project accurately. So we have to get all of these. And by choosing yellow and red, they stick out like sore thumbs. We can then come over here and say, okay, this one needs to be red. So does this one, or maybe this one needs to be yellow. We'll choose that as we go. And the other thing I want to show you is if I maximize this out, the reason we had to reduce this down to a 32 pixel height is if I come over here and say that's pixel 1 and this is pixel 32. If I came through here all the way through, there's going to be 32 pixels, and what each one of those 32 pixels represents is your EBS260 is a 32 jet printer, so each one of these pixels represents one of those jets or nozzles on your gun. And we have to resize any image down to 32 pixels. Well, obviously that makes it quite fuzzy. So what I'm going to spend the rest of my time doing is I'm going to go through here and I'm going to change all of the blacks that I recognize to red and all of the white to yellow. And then there is a bit of judgment in this. You do come through, and you're going to see in the video, I'm going to come through, and some of it is basically recreating the image as best as I see fit. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and speed the video up so that you don't have to waste a bunch of time watching this. And by all means, you're going to get the gist of it very quick. So if you feel like you understand and you don't need to watch the whole thing, even right now, you can skip all the way forward to when I turn the image back over to black and white. We're going to do that at the end. We're going to switch it back over to black and white, and then we're going to save it as a PNG. There are a few things I want to show you functionality wise that I utilize. Tools, I use the pencil because you can switch a pixel back and forth fairly quickly and easily just by going from the right now I have my right click is red and my left click is yellow, and I did that by using these two colors. Color 1's going to be your left click, color 2 is going to be your right click. I also use the bucket like we've already seen, and then I also like to utilize this line feature where I'll come over here and stretch, and we want to adjust that to a more narrow line. And then what I also want to show you is, say I came in here and I accidentally clicked wrong and switched everything over to red, or I came over here and did something. Don't worry if it's something that isn't easy to undo just by right or left clicking. You can come over here and you can hit undo back up to whenever you need to, whenever it was best for you. So I wanted to show you that. I'm going to now jump off and speed up the video. Feel free to advance to the end. Alright, I think that looks pretty good for now. What we're going to do is we're going to save by going up here to File. And don't click Save, click Save As. Go over here to PNG, the top. That's what we want to save it as. Save it however you will remember it. I want to save it in my EBS file under Logos. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Save. Now let's go over to our EBS software. And what we're going to do is we're going to upload this by clicking on Create New Project. Double click to advance until you find the file you want to load it into. I'm going to load it in Images. Remember, we have to name it before we can click Create Project. So in this case, I want to do GSC logo, create project. Now we're going to click the image button, click up here. I find typically your position should be zeros, both in X and Y. We're going to browse. We want to install the new logo right into here. So get rid of these. If you have any that may cause confusion later, it's a good idea to go ahead and get them out. So we'll install new image. Click on that. Browse. We know we saved it in the Logos. So I'm going to go over here, double click. Drop down to the blue Install Selected Image. Click it. Green is good. That means it accepted our formatting. We're going to close the window and wait a second. It's going to bring it up right here. Double click. And we should see it in the background here. Load up. Hit Save, and if we're happy with the way it appears, we're going to go ahead and hit Save up here. OK. Close project. If you want to edit it, you can always open for edit. And you can also add this in. I'm going to open a project here. Oh, what do you know? It's right there. So for example, my old logo here, I call this the GSC Grove Supply Company Contact, and I was experimenting with this, and this is a good example of how you can add in your logo into projects. So that's something fun to play with too. I do hope this this video was helpful. Go give it a try. Hey, and let us know if you come up with maybe in the editing or any other step in the process a faster, more efficient way of doing something. Maybe drop us a line in the comments, or contact me somehow, and it'd be awesome to learn new ways of doing this and make it more efficient. But right now, this is the best way I've found.